Hello and welcome to VOP this morning. My name is Moses Humphrey and joining me on the show is Esther Nwachukwu. Now, our two stories in focus today are the attack on U.S. Consulate staff in Anambra. Now, we understand that some personnel are still missing. Now, that's one topic that we'll be touching on this morning. Plus, let's head into the weekend looking at the list of Nigerian record breakers who are on the golden roll of the Guinness Book of World Records and what it takes to be on its golden roll. Well, we do invite you to be part of everything we do right here on VOP TV by liking and subscribing to our pages on YouTube and on Instagram. On YouTube, we are Voice of the People TV. That is Voice of the People TV. And on Instagram, it's simply VOP TV Live. Well, first off, we'll be heading into the front pages of the dailies, looking at what those pages have for us this morning. Well, joining me to do justice to that is VOP political analyst Cyril Abaku. Good morning to you, Cyril.
Good morning.
All right, then. So we're starting off with the Nation newspaper now. From the Nation, we have the banner headline. This is it focuses on the National Assembly, and I think for a long time to come that will be a major focus in Nigeria. National Assembly governors will back Akpabio, Abbas, says Sule, and it has the writer Nasarawa helmsman assures APC preferred aspirants of North government support. All right. Now, when we go further up, right on top of the nameplate, we have this headline. We have spent 200 billion naira on postponed census, says NPC. NNPCL pays $3.8 billion JV cash call to raise production. Autumn names street after 1999 coup plotter, Oka. And when you further down, underneath the nameplate, Matawale under probe for 70 billion naira contracts, says EFCC. Transition Council rolls out Tinubu Shetima inauguration program, and that has some sub-headlines to it. Another headline here, Shehu Kuti to spend 4 more days in custody. Jam remits 5. Okay, well, I can't exactly see that one. Let's see now. Akpabio praises Buhari's wife for African First Ladies building. All right, so those are headlines we have from the Nation newspaper.
Well, I'm a bit surprised to find that Governor Samuel Yaton will be naming a street or a road or a public edifice of that kind after
Gideon Oka.
For the 1991 coup.
1990 coup, yeah.
Yeah, for 90 or 91, I can't.
90, it's 90. Oh.
April 21, I think, 1990 coup. And I'm wondering why. We know what the coup represented. We know what Oka came to achieve with this coup. For one, he wanted the country to break up, even if he said temporarily. The North will no longer be part of the establishment called Nigeria. Especially in light of what we find today to be some ethnic sections trying to dominate others, politically, culturally, land-wise. It's happening in Benue, which is like the seat of the crisis.
Do you think it's more like a rebellious move?
Well, but I mean, honoring a man who committed treason, who wanted to take power violently, whom Nigeria will not touch with a finger. I'm just wondering, what does that add to public morality? What does that tell the future generations? Because when you name, we were all here when the President Buhari named the National Stadium after MK Abiola for very obvious reasons. You could name universities, you could name schools, you could name roads, bridges after people. And then you recount their achievements in public service, or most likely to the public. Hilda Basi, for example, we could name something after her. Yes, because she has contributed something positive to
the image of Nigeria.
Except that Governor Yotam has another measure by which he calculates or calibrates his definition of public morality, decency, example, integrity, and so on. We know that anybody who is pained by the way Nigeria is, may increasingly begin to see Oka as a hero. That's a fact. The fact is that looking at the very delicate balancing of northern Nigeria, southern Nigeria, religion, and so on, there is a constant push to assert yourself, otherwise you'll be thrown away. But in spite of that, is it still worth it to resurrect Gideon Oka's ghost and say he was a hero? I mean, I find it a bit... if you talk of people like Isaac Boro was... what Isaac Boro did, there was a clear cause. It was the 12-day rebellion, 12-day insurrection, 12-day uprising. And I don't think that Nigeria is particularly angry with Isaac Boro. But in terms of, if Oka had succeeded, perhaps he would have been in the same rank with Babangida, Sani Abacha, Muhammadu Buhari, you know what I mean? But the coup failed. Same
rank in terms of what exactly?
Well, he would have been head of state, and he would have been a man of honor. Don't be respect Babangida. No, Babangida, former military president. Buhari even came back to be president of Nigeria. What if they had been surrounded what if Buhari had been surrounded on December 31, 1983, or the following day, and said you've taken power unlawfully, and they arrested him? He would have been this is the way it is. Buka Zuka Dimka, for example, that staged the coup against Murtala Mohammed in 1976, February 13. Do we see, should they name a stadium after him in Plateau State? We understand the tensions. We understand, people have even called it names like internal colonialism and so on. But this is quite audacious, I must say. It is audacious, and I'd like to see how people react to it.
Well, reactions are coming in already. Some are of the opinion that it's because of the face-off between, or what seems like a face-off between the government of Buhari and Otom in Benue. They've had this constant back and forth as to the government not wanting to actively intervene in what's going on. So some are seeing this as a move to revive the legacy of Gideon Oka, as you rightly
yes, of course,
said. So naming a major street after him is a rebellious move.
You call it rebellion. Rebellion is quite a heavy word.
Rebellion against the government of the day.
We could say it's a reactionary move. I think perhaps
that's another word. But then it
could be a softer way to land. It's a protest move, quite yes. We can say that it's a protest move by the governor to make a point. But I won't be surprised if Gideon Alia, right, the incoming governor, APC, comes in and changes that the name of the street. But I think that it's not enough. This conversation is beyond Gideon Oka, Samuel Yotoma, President Buhari. Moses, you and I are Nigerians because we come from certain parts of the country. But who you are depends on where you are. Moses, who you are in Nigeria depends on where you are. If you lived in Kaduna, Sokoto, Kano, you probably nobody probably cares to know what local government area you come from. If you were in Lagos, you'll be termed people from the minority tribes are grouped together. Once you're not Hausa or Yoruba, it is concluded that you are Igbo. So we as a country, we have not effectively evolved and come to devise a means by which we can live together as equal partners. What people score in elections does not matter. Nigeria runs on the economy. We are equal partners in this game. But this idea of some people are more Nigerian or some people are more blue blood Nigerians than others will not sit. This is why, I mean, look at now, between 1990 and 2023 is how many years?
33.
And somebody is still going back to what happened 33 years ago to address what was happening today, simply shows that we've not grown out of infancy. We must have a determination to work on these things we call the national question. It must be addressed. It must be properly addressed. The issues occurring in the school speech are not things I can say on television. They are terrible. Is a document I've read again and again. They are terrible. Should we remain on that same path? Like the Bible says, shall we continue in sin that grace may abound? Should we continue on that same path and hope that somehow things will work themselves together? They will not. I think any sensible government should ask questions. The president has not done enough to help secure lives and property in Benue. They've done next to nothing to secure lives in Plateau. And yet the governor should sit back and be claiming for the federal government.
All right, then let's not dwell. Let's move on to another daily now. The Punch newspaper has these headlines. Banner headline: Tinubu's inauguration program begins Thursday. FG invites over 65 world leaders. Stay away from inauguration venue if you don't have business there. SGF. Buhari hands over transition documents to incoming president Thursday. And on top of the nameplate, federal allocation drops again as FG states share 655 billion naira. Live broadcast: threat to tribunals, judges' lives. Tinubu's lawyer. NNPCL begins crude supply to Dangote refinery next week. And when you go further down, underneath the pictorial there, we have NYSC at 50. Buhari grants 65 ex-coppers automatic employment scholarship. Matawale diverted 70 billion naira with 100 firms, EFCC alleges. 2 held over U.S. consular officials' killings. Osun workers protest as Adeleke begins payroll audit. All right, so those are headlines from the Punch. Go ahead, Cyril.
Well, the question about the threat to the lives of judges does not really hold water for me. I will say it again. I'm a journalist. I believe in democracy. You cannot, every free society, every democracy, believe me, it's a democracy not because of the arms of government you have. It's a democracy because there is journalism in it. This is why all military dictatorships abhor democracy, abhor sound journalism. I can tell you for free that without journalism, there can be no democracy. And so, to marry the judiciary is part of the democratic process, because democracy deals with electing leaders. And since the courts are there to decide whether the winners of the people's will are the real winners of the people's will, the media must be given full access and full rights to be part of the process. Let me explain this. What Nigerian law states is that courts are to sit publicly so that you and I can attend to know what's going on. Even if there are cases where judges like were at risk, they were not at risk because the media was there. It was because people went to see who they were. They've already given their names.
Of course. Our
colleagues in print have already done profiles on the 5 judges. So what is the next big thing there? They are known. We know the chairman of the panel. We know the secretary. She was the one who even went to separate the scuffle between P2B's factions in the LP at the court 2 days ago or 3 days ago. Now the point I'm going to is this: the courts are to sit publicly. All courts are to sit publicly, so that all interested parties are able to be there to see what is going on. In this material instance, all interested parties are all Nigerians who cannot all attend the sittings,
but should be able to watch on television.
So, courts sitting publicly is that we are bringing the court to the people. The courts they are not witches and wizards, they can't fly. So what the next best thing is for us to take the court into people's homes so that as many Nigerians who are interested in who are interested parties to the suit can see it live and direct. People go to the stadium to watch matches. Some still sit back at home and watch it
TV.
Live transmission. So the argument about threat to judges' lives, it is not a soapbox, it's not this and that. It's immaterial. It was in those days that we sit down and somebody come and say, in the court yesterday, that lawyer bamboozled the judge. He didn't know what to do again. When he spoke grammar and quoted the books. Today you won't mind me, but so we are educated. We can all see what's going on and make valid judgment on what is going on. I think that's what Nigerians want. It's not about it is beyond the judges. They are privileged arbiters in the collective will of Nigerians today. That is fine. In 79, we knew there were 7 of them. Bello, Idigbe, Irikefe, Kayode Esho. I can't pick the remaining 3 names. Nigerians, Graham Douglas was there. Remaining 2 now. Nigerians knew them. What was special about the justices? It's not about them, it's about Nigeria. It's about our collective will. Since the law says courts are to sit publicly except in certain circumstances, okay, there is nothing wrong with saying, okay, in this case, who are those who are interested in the case? It is all Nigerians. Not just on TV, but on radio also. And on the internet. So that as many people that can, that if you can't go to, if you can't afford cable television, see it on terrestrial. If you can't afford that on radio, if you can't afford that on, if all you have is a phone,
transistor,
there's YouTube, there's Mixler, there are all these platforms.
All right, then let's quickly touch on Nigerian Tribune. Tribune has this banner headline: EFCC boss, Zamfara governor, exchange words over alleged 70 billion naira fraud. Expose me if you have any proof of fraud. Bauer must quit now. Face probe panel over 150 CSOs, tell FG. All right, it seems to be brewing there. Direct entry UTME candidates now to write same exam. JAM remits 2 billion naira into FG's account. Buhari to confer GCFR, GCON titles on Tinubu Shetima. May 25. FG rolls out inauguration program. All right. And El Rufai revokes CFO of McAfee's companies, landed properties. Court remands Sheun Kuti for additional 4 days. NNPC clears $3.8 billion JV cash call indebtedness to grow crude oil production to 1.8 MPs PD in July. All right. And we also have attack on U.S. official in Anambra, 7 confirmed killed, 2 missing as police begin search. 2 suspects arrested. Speakership race, G7 aspirants vow to fight on. 1 person can't run Nigeria. Choose leadership for members-elect. Wase. All right. And we also do have 200 billion naira already spent on preparations for 2023 census. NPC says. Interesting headlines we have here. Osun Labour Movement kicks against proposed staff audits. All right, so those are the headlines we have from the Nigerian Tribune. Let's quickly respond before we go on to the other part of the show.
Well, I try to keep a track of them. You've not counted one single individual. Maybe they've counted themselves at the commission. I hope they won't have to enumerate themselves at the commission. 200 billion naira has already gone. It's the Nigerian way.
Maybe on logistics.
On logistics. 200 billion naira. I hope they, because in 2006,
And it's been suspended.
In spite of,
The census has been suspended.
I know, but they had already spent 200 billion.
Yes.
Shameful, very shameful. You know, if you look at how much, of course, it's been suspended. If you look at how much was proposed initially, the presidency had said 67 billion or so. Then the matter went on the floor of the National Assembly. It was wound down to 173 or so billion. Then later the commission said no, that they would be proposing 500 and something billion. That was more than half a trillion. And you wonder sometimes. So we've not even, I believe I believe that this money, 200 billion naira, is too much to do the census as a program, as a whole. Maybe this was the game. Suspend it, this amount would have gone, and that's it. Maybe this was really the game. In 2006, I was part of so much money. People were, it was the numeries, if there's a word like that, that we are donating ink and buying food for the enumerators. They were going around Nigeria. It happened in Lagos. You know, it's our system. They said this population analysis centers that we are going to be using the latest technology in the whole world. But even before using the technology, you spend 200 billion naira. So how about the remaining? I mean, assuming that what you are going to was 500 something billion. How about the remaining sum? What now happens to it? This is all a joke.
Kept on the coffers.
Nigeria, if there's one good thing Nigerian public officials are good at doing, they know how to dole money out. We are so good at how to dole huge monies. Just keep doling it out. We are very good at it. We know how to inflate. So, but things that other countries, not even big countries, because you say they have everything, or middle countries, well, are we still in the middle? Countries that are at par with us will do for $2 million. Nigeria will tell you that they're going to do it for 70 billion. How do we hope to move forward as a country if just to count ourselves? In the end, I've always said that what Nigeria needs is not just population census, it's population justice. How do we know how many we are? Who lives where? Who bears what name? A country that has SIM cards, BVN, driver's license, NIN, you know, is still not able to verify, harmonize, and collate just how many we are and who is where.
This should be a conversation. This should be a conversation that we should bring up another time and, you know, go deeper into. It's a shame, truly. 200 billion spent already, and the census suspended. You know, so one would wonder what happens when a new date is fixed. Are we going to see more monies allocated to it? You know, are we going to hear cases where the things bought have expired, or the trainings given, or new people are being brought in to be trained, so more money needs to be put into it? Well, these are questions that will come up. Well, that's all we have for newspaper headlines for today. We'll be going into a major topic, one of the topics we have for today. Now, we do know that some U.S. consulate staff are still missing after an attack on their convoy in Anambra State. Well, let's talk about that when we come back. But we do have John Akirele, public affairs analyst, on standby. Well, thank you very much for joining us, John. We'll come to you after this break. Well, the police in Anambra State have released fresh figures of victims of the attack by gunmen on Tuesday in the state. Now, gunmen killed officials of the U.S. Consulate and some police officers after ambushing their convoy along Atani-Osamala Road in Ogbaru local government area of the state. Two officials of the U.S. Consulate alongside two police officers attached to their convoy were earlier reported killed by the gunmen, while three others, including two other police officers and their driver, were abducted by the attackers. But the Commissioner of Police in Anambra State, CP Echeng, has confirmed that more people were killed during the attack. Mr. Echeng, who spoke on Thursday during a press conference in Oka, said 7 people, not 4, have been confirmed killed in the attack, while 2 officials of the U.S. Consulate were still missing. The police commissioner said 5 male officials of the U.S. Consulate and 4 armed mobile police officers escorted the officials from Lagos State when they were attacked by gunmen who also set their vehicles ablaze. The U.S. officials were on a mission to assess the impact of erosion in Ogbaru local government area. The police commissioner identified the slain officers as Booker Adams, Friday Morgan, Adam Andrew, and Emmanuel Lupata, all inspectors from Squadron 23, Police Mobile Force, Lagos State. Mr. Cheng said authorities of the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, have informed them that apart from the 4 officers, 5 staff members of the agency were victims of the attack. The police did not, however, confirm if any of them were among the U.S. officials killed in the attack or those missing after the attack. The police commissioner urged residents of the state to support the police timeously with information about the identities and locations of the attackers. So that's where we are. And we do have John Akirele. Well, I did say John has joined us. Now let's welcome John formally. Good morning to you, John.
Morning, and thank you for having me.
All right, thank you for joining us. Now let's look at this attack and the police. Well, we do know that they could be overwhelmed sometimes, but the information that the Commissioner of Police in Anambra, Echeng, is saying that information did not get to the command on time. What do we make of this, knowing that there is that possibility that while the attack was going on, I mean, his men could have radioed the command, like, look, we are under attack or something like that. I think that's how it's done, isn't it? Oh, well, unfortunately, we seem to be having issues with the connection with John, and I do hope that is rectified on time so we can take his view on this topic. But in the meantime, well, that's the situation of things in Anambra. 2 people have been arrested so far, and the fact, the CP said, as you probably, I'm going to quote the Commissioner of Police now, when responding to questions, he said, as you're probably aware, a team of officials from the Lagos Consulate of the United States of America and their police escort were ambushed between 12 noon and that's 1200 hours and 1400 hours. That's 2 hours, basically, along Atani Osamele Road in Ogbaru local government area of Anambra State by suspected Eastern Security Network, ESN, Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB. And information about the incident was received by Anambra State Police Command through an official of the consulate at about 14:30 hours. Well, that's a long time. You know, if the attack started at noon and lasted till 2:30, one would expect that with the gunfire raging, people around there would have reached out to the police, called the police numbers. But unfortunately, what we're hearing now is that information leaked to the police command at 2:30, 30 minutes after the attack started. Well, 2 hours, 30 minutes after the attack started. That's interesting. Well, I do hope we have John back online. I do have questions, and try to make sense of this whole thing. Okay. Well, unfortunately, we're still trying to reconnect with John Akirele. Well, I do understand that John Akirele is calling from a faraway place. So, yes, it's understandable that the network might have glitches. And hopefully we will rectify that in a good time. We're going on a little break. We'll be back shortly. All right, we do have, welcome back to VOP this morning, and we have John back online with us. Good morning once again, John.
Good morning, can you hear me inside with me?
Yes, we can hear you. Can hear you a lot better, even really loudly this time around. Now let's look at the incident of attack by gunmen. Said to be ESN officials, that's Eastern Security Network, some members of IPOB, on the officials of the U.S. Consul in Anambra State. They were from Lagos to Anambra State to, look at some places that have been eroded by flood. Unfortunately, they were attacked, people were killed. Well, we do, from what we have, know that Americans were not affected, but these officials are mostly Nigerians. Now, what do you make of the fact that the police is saying that the Commissioner of Police in Anambra State, CP Echeng, released a report saying that information didn't get to the police in good time, but the attack, we are told, lasted from noon till 2 p.m. But officials of the U.S. Embassy called the police command at 2:30. Let's make sense of it.
I think my condolences goes out to people who are victims of this attack, most especially people of the Nigerian police force. These are Nigerians and they are members of the Nigerian police force. So let's consider to them and so that our hearts are with the family of the deceased. But I think there's something we need to understand from this point. If at this point, U.S. convoy is going to Anambra to assess the devastation of the land due to flooding, I think one is for assessment and two is to see how we can, bring it up. Don't forget that the U.S. and Nigeria have long-standing history of bilateral relationships, and they have been, helpful to us at critical times. And looking at this Biden administration, they have also reshaped their commitments into, fostering better relationship between Nigeria and the U.S. So this for me now, it's sad news, it's condemnable, and there's nobody in his right sense in this country that should say that this act should be encouraged. As a matter of fact, what is the offense of this U.S. convoy that we are attacked? Now, this is what we should look at. If we say that none of their citizens were involved in this or died in this, but people that died are Nigerians, and that's why I say that we must lay value on every single individual and every Nigerian. This is a desperate act, and it should be condemned from every length and breadth of this country, and that should never happen again. And I don't want us to keep saying that the perpetrators of this act will be brought to book. I think we should swing into action and make sure that the whole net of Anambra is
abducted. Now, the abduction took place when the police confronted the attackers, and after gun battle, they were said to have escaped into the forest, abducted some police officials, and the driver as well ran into the forest. And now the police is asking for the support of the indigents around there, for information to trace them. Now, let's look at the issue of police officials having trackers. I know that in some parts of the world, you have some sort of trackers on you, just in case you go missing. They should be able to trace where you are, trace your location. Is it that we haven't matured enough to have such devices, on our officials? We have it on vehicles, but then how about having them on officials, which will make it a whole lot easier? Knowing that you are going to a troubled zone. Anambra right now is, the East really is a troubled zone.
Well, I think Nigeria as a country has become a place where frivolity thrives, and our officials, as well as spending money on things that are worthwhile, spend money on things that are irrelevant. If you're asking this question, that how come we cannot have, spy cameras or trackers on our personnel, looking at the volatility of the area they are going into? But the question also goes to the politicians who, apart from him, is having 10 police officers. The question also goes to the governor who has just less than a month to leave the office and is approving 3 billion naira for the purchase of vehicles. Now, 3 billion naira can be approved for purchase of vehicles, but 3 billion naira cannot be approved to get trackers for our security personnel. That alone speaks volumes, speaks loud even to the deaf. And that is the nation that we have become. So until we get to that point of repentance and say, we are doing the right thing, let's do the right thing, let's put money where you ought to be. There's nobody that would want to join the police force willingly. Those who join on the basis of the fact that they are in abject poverty and unemployment side on the increase. Check, make it serve and ask people genuinely, how many of you like to be a police officer? Okay? So, because people will not want to join because of the value you place on police officers, my dear, please go to other African countries and look at how their police officer, look at the kit of a police officer, and look at the amount it costs them to keep one officer. But come back to our own country, look at a police officer, and to even aspire to be a police officer will be a nightmare to you. So I think it's almost on our public officials to do the needful. If we do the needful, we'll spend less on all these troubles that we are going through or we are facing. And don't forget that we are the one causing this trouble by ourselves, by intentionally doing things that ought not to be done, by spending money on things that does not matter, by wasteful spending, wasteful budgeting on things that do not even add any value to the lives of people. 3 billion naira vehicle, of what value is that to that state? Of what value is it to the health sector of that state? Of what value is it to the people? Of what value is it to the teachers of that state? And mind you, it has been also applies in other states. And this is the kind of leaders that we have. And later they say they're going to Senate. What are they going to legislate for you in Senate? Bunch of people without brain, big head. And I'm really sorry and I'm getting emotional, but I will show you that somebody's father was killed in Anambra now because of the ineptitude of some political office holders who told themselves to be gods. Now, as to the issue of the locals giving us information to police officers, let me speak clear on this forum that no individual will be willing to give information to the police officer. Why? Because of the issue of trust and because of what they had in time past. You will recollect that when there is an incident in your area and there are some people who come to invade the area and you give, even if you make phone calls to police officer, you will be shocked that in less than 24 hours, they will come knock your door and ask you, so now you sabi police. So now if you give police information, now we and you in this area, we will know who will last. So now you leave the area for them because they will still come back for you after the person have gone. So it shows that the police on its own end does not end the trust of the public so that they can share information with them in terms of due diligence. So there isn't a whole lot of overhauling that should be done. The police needs to, build back that trust that people can trust them more with information, and that when they give information to the police officers, those who are culprits, who should be apprehended, do not gallivant all around in the streets and say to those who even call the police officers, at least you call them, they will arrested me, they release me. Let's see if you call them again, if you be allowed to call them again. And so such messages to these people give information, deter them from giving further information to police officers, even when it's happening right in their place, even when they have eyewitness, records. And so police officers and people should do better to also have a safe society.
All right, now let's look at what the U.S. Secretary of State said, Anthony Blinken. Well, he said in a statement, he said the U.S. mission and its Nigerian counterparts were working to ascertain the location and condition of those unaccounted for. In all, there were 9 Nigerian nationals in the convoy, he said, and he did say the convoy was carrying 5 employees of the U.S. mission to Nigeria and 4 members of the Nigerian police force. Now, they were traveling in advance of a planned visit by the U.S. mission personnel to a U.S.-funded flood response project in Anambra State. Now, let's look at how this incident now, the deaths, the attacks, how this affects U.S.-Nigeria relationship.
Well, it's going to affect the relationship, if I will not lie to you. When you have this kind of experiences before now, if you recollect, in the same country, some citizens, US citizens were kidnapped, and it took the Special Marine Corps of the US Navy, to come into the country and rescue their own citizens by themselves. So in terms of security, in terms of information intelligence, I think if given the free hand to come in, the US can now actually ascertain where their people are, and they can go right there, pick them up, the sky river, like taking them hostage. Before now, I think the issue of trust, there has been issue of trust between not only US, now other, European countries trusting Nigeria in terms of security. And I think as a people, we should be worried about our perspectives in the international scale, how people perceive us will be whenever they see the green passports. And now I think this will dampen even the spirit of the leaders, even the Secretary General of US, even the President himself, Joe Biden, and even other relationships that have to do with Africa as a whole. I know that Nigeria, being the arrowhead of Africa, channel more funds into the African continent. So this is going to affect us, and I hope that at this point in time, this is where diplomatic, visits and talks should come in and see how they can foster a better relationship in terms of security, in terms of programs that will alleviate the suffering of the people, so that when people live in a concealed environment, there will be low rate of crime. I think that is the message I want to pass across to even the US Convoy, the US Consulate, the US government, and Nigeria government as a whole, that we need to reduce more, unemployment. We need to reduce the rates of poverty more in Nigeria. And if you can use these two parameters, poverty and unemployment, I can assure you that crime will reduce by 70%. And I think in terms of relationship, our envoys, should set up a delegate of emergency now to see how they can, come into this issue and see how they can bring up diplomatic talks so that these ties can be strengthened. And then this can also be a scale or a standard for them to also, appeal more to the US as a country so that they can help us more in terms of having secured country and secure borders. So it's a good one.
Now,
it's a bad situation for them.
Okay.
Good of it.
Okay. Now, appealing to the U.S. to help us secure the country. Now, isn't that in itself saying that our security agencies don't know their job?
Well, it's not that they don't know their job. It's just a matter of the fact that they do not have all that it takes for them to function optimally.
But trainings are being done from time to time. Collaborative trainings are being done from time to time. The U.S. officials come down here to train our own people here, so they should have enough trainings to carry out some sort of action.
Mind you, Nigeria is a very complex country with complex situations and complexities that that get unraveled day by day. When you solve one problem, another comes. Okay, it is a multidimensionally complex environment. Okay. Now, if we look at our policing from scratch is even, has a defect. Okay, so we must the policing is total overhauling. Now look at the hosting of those who come to even this US convoy. How do you get there? Is it through training and competence, or because they are loyal to some organs at the top? And that's why they are placed there. So we must come to a point where people come, from the recruitment process. I don't know if you've been to the police college in Kenya, and you can look at the state of facility or infrastructure of where they are training police officers, who after graduation will pour them to the streets. So you can see that from even the training center, this set of frustration, this anger, this not complete training, is being there. So that defect is from Genesis, it's from the beginning of the training. So even to the time they have the uniform, they tell you to buy their own uniform, buy their own boots. Maybe you should take a stroll to a police station near you and complain of something. They will tell you that you need to buy paper for you to even write your statement. It is that bad. And so let us not close our eyes and feel like, oh, all is well. All is not well with Nigerian police force. Okay? So don't look at those guys you see with their blue and black fine uniform, wear iron. When you want to see the reality, go to, those barracks, check the barracks, check the state of the barracks, look at where they live. And somebody will secure a bank and live in this kind of environment. And while sitting in the office, he see millions and billions of naira coming out of it. And look at where he's living. And when others come to the bank, he wants him to defend the bank, his own life. And look at where he's living. Look at the state of welfareism that is approached to him for doing that kind of delicate job. So there are so many things that need to be changed when it comes to policing. Now, when it comes to training, yes, we have our trainings, but in terms of manpower, we don't have enough. Okay? And I think with time, we should look at other countries that have this land mass in terms of forest, reserve areas, other people that have it. Let's look at what they do with their own forest. Let's not make our own a place, a hiding place for criminals. When we say kidnappers struck, the next thing we hear, they move into the forest. Kidnappers, elements struck, they move into the forest. Can we do something to that in the same forest? If the forest consists of 6, 7 states, can the 6, 7 states come together and form an agricultural hub where that the whole of the forest can be cultivated, joint by these 6 different states, and then we have enough food to go around the country for all our people. And then there will be no hiding place for the criminals. So there will be no case of you're running into there's no longer a forest, now we found settlements. Okay, so these are areas I think we should do. Now, if you're talking about this saying the US can come for training to train us or not, I think when there are issues that is at this critical point, critical decisions must be made. What happened has happened, people are dead already, we console and we commiserate with them, but then it's also a platform for you to even seek for more help. Because now it shows that the country is really helpless. If ESN guys can attack the convoy and kill 4 or 5 police officers, that's it for you. That's it for you. So we need help. It's an indication that we need serious help in terms of security. And it's a good for us for today right now.
All right, truly, yes. Well, I think 2 were killed, and then some were abducted. 3 were abducted. 2 policemen and the driver. So yes, truly, apparently we need help. We need help. Nigerians need help. And are we going to see a situation like what happened some years back, where the U.S. Navy will come in to assist the Nigerian army to get these people back? But you know that in that instance, citizens of the U.S. were involved. Do you think now that no citizen of the U.S. is involved, they might do that, or will they just assist our own officials to rescue them by not coming here but doing it from over there?
They might just help us. But in terms of them coming in, I don't see that happening because their own citizen is not involved.
Yeah.
And that will show you, the worth they place on just a life. Even though it's not in the US, the worth they place on the life of their citizens, just one person. And you can see that a whole squad, a whole team will move all the way from America to Nigeria to save just one person. And here we are. We are talking about 3, 4, and even the army, like I said, it's just 10. The numbers don't matter to us. It's just 10, it's just 5, it's just 3. I see they are normal days. Okay? This is it. I don't see the US coming in, to do that same operation, but I think they can help. Why? Because the issue of trust also. Don't forget also that, there was a time during the Boko Haram era where they came in to assist, and they were saying that even within the military, that they are saboteurs. And so they trust themselves in terms of their own operation. That, okay, if I'm seeing that there's a man behind me, he's going to member of my team, they tell me, go, I can trust his words. We are all together in the team. But when we have other people join our team, we don't even know who and who is taking out this information, because you are not in a trusted environment. And that is what is happening. So that is why I don't see them coming in. But if it's for their own full squad, that they know how they operate, I think that can work. But with the infusion of our Nigerian military, I doubt if they can come. They can only give advice. or give intelligence in terms of mapping, in terms of location, they can do all of that. But for them to commit themselves to rescue these people, I don't see that happening.
All right then. Well, we do know that we're having disparity in information here, and one would wonder why. Why is it so? The U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken said 5 missing, according to the information he has, but the Commissioner of Police is saying 2 missing. So there's a disparity of information. What do we make of that?
Well,
should we take that of the commissioner who is on ground?
Before now, they can tell you it's 2. Additionally, it's now 3. The latest report is now 5. Breaking news is now 7. They will tell you that is what they have intensively. But I think I'll believe more the US report, because before they come out to give you figures and statistics, they have their facts, it's been fact-checked, it's been confirmed before they can come out and give a press statement. Like us who, even by yesterday, without even confirming, we express all of this information and we say, tell me that we can always confirm that press release, So that's the first press release that we do. So I think I'll go with an linking if you say 2. His own reports, because before somebody of that career can come out to give such a statement, he must have got his figures right and his due diligence must have been done in terms of background check. So for me, I'll go with the US report, but for our own case, controversy still coming in.
All right, now the issue of collaboration between Nigeria and the US, we do have some officials in Nigeria saying that they were not aware of this visit from Lagos to Anambra. The governor of Anambra, he did say, or he was not aware of the visit from these U.S. officials from Lagos to Anambra. What do you make of that? Bearing in mind that the project is known. It's a U.S. funded project to fix, flawed, eroded roads in that area. But hearing that the governor saying that he was not aware of the visit, what do you make of that?
That is also the lackadaisical attitude that I've been talking about. The governor of the state happens to be in about 1 citizen of their states, and reports that is stable every day.
Sure.
And I'm not saying the governor must be at every length and breadth of the state every day, but report must get to him. So the questions should be asked is this: this project was, embarked upon, when was it initiated? In which local government? Which local government chairman? Or under which directorate was the money for that project released to? Because it's US funded. Who are the supervisory agencies that supervise the projects? These are questions to be asked. So, once you don't come out and say that he's not aware, he's doing his back on his own face, and the people are Anambra. It shows that we don't take responsibility for things. Those do anyhow we like. A governor saying it's not aware. So, where is the local government chairman? At least that project was situated in the local government. Okay? Who are the supervising agents? Because you can't tell that the US is funding the project and they come in their own workers come and work in Anambra. No. So who are locals? Who are the contractors who do these projects? The to the government or not? What is the commissioner in terms of flooding and interior services in Anambra? Are you saying that the commissioner is also not aware of this project when it was completed? Now the government seems not aware. I think it's people research from this statement of this governor. So many people should have been getting a letter immediately because it shows that they have been found wanting in a place for their responsibility and delivering that gift of service that they promised Anambra. And they are favorable for their should just resign already and get out of the office. Because even the God said that, he's also a son. On his own face, then this was the same man who, when the flooding case came, he came on chance on that stations and was begging another agencies for funding, begging to come to their aid. Now US have come to your aid and you're saying you're not aware. Something is wrong somewhere. And I think the governor is the person that can act the same person. You should not say that, rather, all agencies on board, not for someone and emergency, all the digits of better agencies and ask them, which of these agencies is in charge of this and why is that this against my table? And from before the close of the day, a certain person be trained immediately and start these people. And get people that can do this job well and then come on board. That's how another people well and good.
All right then. I must say a very big thank you to you, John Akirili, for joining us on this show today. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Father.
All right then. All right then. Well, we do have another topic coming up shortly. Is someone, well, if you're someone dreaming of being a world record breaker, you definitely will not be the first. Well, as it's often said, it will be difficult, but not impossible. And that conversation will be coming up in a bit, where we'll be looking at world record breakers and those who have found their way, Nigerians particularly, who have found their way into the Guinness Book of Records. We'll take a little break. When we come back, we'll delve into this one. Well, some 45 Nigerians have now joined an elite group of world achievers who've recorded feats that only the brave will dare to break. The latest of them could now be Hilda Abassi, who set a new world cooking record by a single individual after she cooked for 100 straight hours, breaking a previous cooking time set by India's Lata Tandon. But long before Hilda, fellow Nigerian compatriots like Fela Kuti, Mode 9, Blessing Okagbere, Bayo Omoboriowo, Vincent Okezie, and many others have had, they've all etched their names in gold. Well, I guess the first question will be, what does it take to dream of either setting or breaking records? Well, I have joining me in the studio, I have Chioma and Kayla joining me. Kayla Abraham and Chioma Innocent. Am I correct?
Yes.
All right, then. So, welcome, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. So, what does it take, really? What do you think it takes to break a record? Is it just sheer determination, or, tell me.
Much more than determination, I would say definitely preparation. Hilda has been a household name for the past 1 week and more, after setting the cooking record. One thing about Nigerians is we know how to cheer our own up.
And we did cheer her up.
And even after that, to the point of intimidation of, the handler of the Guinness Book of World Records handles all over social media.
Yes.
Then even the lady who's holding the record now, Leta Tondon from India, Nigerians are going under her comment session.
Why did Nigerians have to do that?
I'm asking the same question too. I don't know why.
We just like trouble.
What do you think? I don't think we like trouble.
Because going on her page to tell her no, to just attack her, I think that was unnecessary.
Yeah, because I feel a lot of people had problems with her during her own, parts. Like she sat during her time cooking. So
she
they
sat.
we were bragging that our Hilda did not sit.
She stood for that long.
Yeah, for 4 days and 100 hours. I mean, there's a difference. And Nigerians decided to just throw some tantrums here and there. I understand that.
I really am not happy. I join
Why
the
you
host
not
of
happy?
other Nigerians that are not happy about the fact that up until now she has not been confirmed.
Yes,
the process
she
of
hasn't.
confirmation is taking so long. Although ahead it takes about 2 weeks.
It takes about 2 weeks.
So
they must have a representative there because she reached out to them telling them she wanted to do something like this. I mean, why was there no representative so they don't have to go through all of this long process?
Right.
And I also feel like all these things they're posting about, right now we're getting to know that there are other Nigerians who have done this feat who we didn't even know so much about, apart from the names already listed. Of course, Fela Kuti is more than a household name, more than
yes, he broke a record.
all these years.
having
Even
the most
Kafi, the dance queen, is also a household name. Mode 9,
yes.
we know him, even though so many people don't
about
even
Mode
know.
9, I didn't even know he had a record.
Same.
I didn't know he had a record.
Up until a very short while ago, I did not know Mode 9 had a record. But if you know the name Mode 9, even though you don't know what it is that he's about, you know that he's a really great rapper.
Right.
And he's one person you can always resonate with, because when it comes to the rap industry in Nigeria, when it comes to the music industry, he dominated it in the early 2000s. The early 2000s, way before the new Gen Z.
Yes.
New Gen Z.
Well, I also have John.
musicians.
That's Mode 9 on our screen there. Well, it's a big thing to be in the Guinness Book of Records. Well, it's cash gifts don't come with it, just a recognition. So we do recognize Mode 9, Fela Kuti, and a few others.
Yes.
Well, we also have John Akerile, who joined us earlier on the show for the first topic. Well, we had to ask him to stay on for this one. Good morning once again, John.
Good morning, thank you for having me.
All right, thank you very much for staying on. Now, John, we're looking at Nigerians that have etched their names in gold in the Guinness World Record. And there's a long list that a lot of us didn't even know about.
Right.
I don't think when it comes to Guinness Book of Records, Nigerians are at least one of the highest in the world, you know. Nigerians are showing you that they are resilient people, they are creative people, they are people who can, you know, give us all, you know, bring out something cool out of the tunnel. And so that of is also a very beautiful moment that we should be proud of as Nigerians. I will get never to have the data, which is fabulous about old school in Nigeria.
All right.
Despite that, Nigerians are still and they're
Okay.
going beyond all and then putting us on the global map.
Okay.
And so for me, it's kudos to Ira, it's the motivation to other young girls out there, and saying to the female gender that yes, we can do it, we can do it. Congratulations, Nigeria, once again.
Yeah.
All right, then, of course, congratulations to Nigeria. Well, unfortunately, Hilda has not been handed the frame.
Yes.
But whether she's given the frame or not, as far as we are concerned, she has set a record. Now, let's look at a few others. This person, Chinonso Eche, that's a picture of Hilda looking all beautiful. Yeah. Well, Chinonso Eche was given the record for most football headers in a prone position in 1 minute. Now, this young man, pardon?
I said that's interesting.
Very interesting indeed. This young man headed the ball for 233 times, and he achieved a Guinness World Record. That was in 2021. That's wow. There's even a video to when he was being given the award. If we have it, we could just play it. Yes, that's that one. You know, it's amazing how he positioned the ball on his head. Look at him.
Interesting.
Look at him.
I'm curious to know how old Chinonso is, because this is
He's a young.
Yeah.
He's a very young boy.
Yeah.
But what I'm more curious about is why it's been 2 years. How come we're just hearing about this now
That's
that
the
Hilda? If Hilda did not come out to do this, does this mean, you know, this young man with this wonderful talent, we would not be hearing about him up until now? I know the onus is on the person breaking the record to attract so much publicity to themselves, but I would also say, as much as Guinness Book of World Record is, they're very popular, you know, everyone knows about the records, they should do more about publicizing the people who have done
I think
Well,
the
I want to
onus.
speak for Hilda. Okay,
Go
I'm
ahead.
coming there. Hilda also put in a lot of work. I would
the
not-
publicity.
Yes, with publicity. Thank you very much. You know, before now, you know, she said she's been trying to do this for about 5 years now. So she waited for 5 years.
Okay.
Yes,
So she's
to
been
get
trying
this.
and
She's
trying.
been trying, and then they told her, well, we have someone already in India,
this.
so you have to wait another 5 years. Okay.
This
And then-
brings me, I'm so sorry, to the Liberian chef who says he wants to break Hilda's world record.
I was going to go to that. I was going
That's
to
a
go
lot,
to
yeah.
that.
Go ahead.
But you know, speaking of Hilda, before this cooking started, this cookathon started, she really did press conferences. She went out. She put
Okay, so there was
herself
publicity.
So I feel
She-
she brought this to herself and brought this publicity very much to herself, because without all of those steps she took, I don't think she would have this recognition too, in my opinion. So speaking of Hilda, I think hers was different. She was ready.
So about the Liberian chef.
Oh, it's Ghana, right? In Ghana.
No,
Liberian.
he's
Liberian, yeah.
Liberian. I think Chef Aloysius or something.
Oh,
I can't pronounce
I think
the other
it's a Ghanaian
name.
chef I saw. So
Okay.
he said
Oh,
he
there's
wants
another
to
one.
cook for a week straight, standing.
You know what this says to me? What this says to me
Record.
is Hilda has inspired people across borders, not just in Nigeria, not just young ladies, but guys as well. Because there's so many people who never thought of this fit. And you might think, oh, it's small. When you hear 100, it's like when you hear 100 naira, it's small currency. So when you hear 100 hours, you feel like, what's 100 hours that I cannot do? But then once you get involved, you realize that it's much more than just saying it by mouth. And for me, I love the fact that it has inspired so many people. But before you want
I don't see
to break
it as
Hilda's
inspiration.
record, wait for her to collect the frame first.
I'm not feeling what you're saying,
Two, you wait for her to enjoy.
Well, I think there'll be
some time.
time frame given
Of course, it's
for
5
when 5 years. Yeah.
Yes, 5 years. So from 5 years actually.
Okay, so let's look at a few other Nigerians. We've mentioned Stephen Keshi. youngest person to win the Africa Cup of Nations as a player and a coach as well. Well, we do have a lot in sports, a lot of sports personalities.
We have deadlift too.
Yes.
The lady.
Yeah. What's her name now?
Paul Kennedy. Yes.
Powerlifter. Powerlift. Okay. There's Bose Omolayo also.
Yes.
Heaviest power lift by a female.
A female, yeah. And Paul is the guy.
Okay. And we also have Haruna Abdulaziz. Now Haruna Abdulaziz is the most American football touches with the feet in 1 minute.
Interesting.
Male.
Wow.
No, really, wow. When it comes to
football is not.
Yeah.
It's really strong.
Exactly.
Wow, that's interesting.
Well, we also have Peter Aho, who is Nigeria's. Well, he took 6 wickets for 5 runs in 3.4 overs against Sierra Leone in a match staged at the University of Lagos Cricket Oval. That was in 2021, 24th October 2021. And we do have a lot of sports personalities.
Yes.
Umfong Udo, who is he scored 23 goals for Anambra in the Nigerian Premier League in 2013 into 2014, breaking the previous best of 20 set by Jude Aneke. Also in Nigeria in 2010 into 2011, it was Udo's first season for Anambra, having transferred from Aqua United. So yes, but nobody talks about those people. I think the onus is on us, the media.
Yes.
All right. I think the onus is on us, the media, to talk about these people and celebrate them. We talk about Fela Anikulapo Kuti. We talk about him. He's a legend. We celebrate him, but he's not the only one. We have a whole lot of other Nigerians. We have Vincent Okeze as well. Most consecutive backward handsprings with a football, that's soccer, between the legs.
Wow.
Yeah, and we also have Blessing Okagbere. Yeah, we do know Blessing.
100 and 200 meters.
Yes, and Lorita. So yes, come on, man. Nigerians have been doing great things.
Honestly, if you ask me, Moses, I'm so sorry to interrupt you. One thing I would say is not the onus is on them, on the media, to bring publicity, to bring this to the attention of the citizens. It's also on the people who hold this records to always scream it. Let it always be in our faces. Let us know that you did this thing. Don't let us forget. But then it's also on the government that they are making proud, on the nation that they're making proud.
To
let people know that
them.
we're doing this. Although I feel like when it comes to sports, there are some sports like cricket that we're not really into in Nigeria. So it might be difficult for us to even understand the gravity of what they have done, to understand what makes it so great that they're breaking a world record. But there are other people I would like to talk about, like Kafi, our Nigerian dance queen.
Yes.
He danced for 55 hours and 40 minutes. There's a way I calculate this thing in my head. I'm like, okay, 24 hours. I've been awake since about 6 a.m. So since 6 a.m. till now, somebody's dancing without stopping, and they'll keep dancing till 6 a.m. by tomorrow.
This is Nigerians are talented.
Yes, and resilient.
I think we underestimate that. So, and resilient, thank you. I like the strength and hope. I feel like this country, Nigeria, and the Nigerians are known for hope. Like, when a layman goes out tomorrow and he's like, I didn't get anything to do, but I'll still try tomorrow.
Well, there are certain records. I know some people just feel, okay, I need to break this record. I need to attempt to break this record. I need to do this or do that. But there are certain records that some people might never break. For instance,
tell me, I'm interested.
If you ask me for an instance,
having the most babies.
By a single female or by a single male.
I've seen that
They
one,
have?
if not a Nigerian. So
Of course.
That would be about 69 kids by one woman. How?
Yes, I think
Why?
69 kids.
Yes,
I think
baby.
it's a health condition. I don't know if we have there's a video to it as well.
Okay.
There's a video to it as well. The woman and the number of kids, 69 kids. But there's an African too.
Yes.
There's an African that has 44 kids. I think they call her Mama Uganda.
Oh, okay, let's
yes,
go.
this is the African.
This African
This is the
lady.
African, the Ugandan lady.
Yes.
She has 44 children. A few of them are dead. She's how old? She's 43 years old.
I don't know, this can't be healthy.
What do you mean it can't be healthy? All right, so this is this is Valentina.
Thank you.
Valentina had 16 twins, 7 triplets, and 4 quadruplets.
Maybe family planning didn't exist then.
Well,
I don't think you can put family planning in this context because look at that. Twins, can you stop
16 sets.
twins from coming out?
After you've had the first set, the second set, after you have the fourth set.
It's okay, right? I think you stop, right? Or maybe she didn't want to.
well, those kind of, I mean, records like that. Would you want to break any of such?
You can't even pay attention to all. You can't pay attention to all these kids. Well, if you really want to break a record, there are some that might sound frivolous. Like Sandra Ikeji, the most bridesmaid. What are you doing with 200 bridesmaids?
Oh, yes, Sandra Ikeji, very legendary one.
200 bridesmaids, because I'm sure you don't even know them all. You know, you are probably talking to ushering companies and saying, "Get me girls."
Records. That's the thing. Do something seemingly crazy, and you'll break a record.
Moses, would you like to break one?
Would I like to break one? Yes.
Do you want to tell me?
Well, I'm working on it.
Interesting.
I'm working on it. I'm thinking of the longest talk show.
Talk time.
Yeah, or talk time.
Well,
Maybe talk for 1 week straight.
on TV.
Yeah, it's on TV. It's going to be on TV. Just talk. Take breaks, drink water, and just basically talk. That'll be good, right? Different shows. Longest talk time.
For me, I think by this particular lady, I think her name is Treasure Biode or so, the longest reading marathon by an individual. Marathon. Yes, okay. Longest reading marathon. Reading continuously for about 120 hours. You know, that's over 6 days, reading continuously. One thing I like about the world record is at least they give you bathroom breaks and probably eating breaks. For something like that, you have to drink a whole lot of water.
Oh, well.
So yes, that's something I think it's almost the same thing as talking, only this time you have a book to read from, you're not just talking from your head. So all in all, these are very impressive feats, and it just shows you, just like we've said, the resilient spirit of Nigerians, the can-do spirit of Nigerians. We can do anything.
Of course, yes.
It's as if Philippians 4:13 was written for us.
All right then, so I'm going to let you go, Chioma Innocent. I'm going to let you go now because I do understand you have a lot of other things to attend to. Kayla, now let's take a break so Chioma can excuse, yeah? And also big thanks to John Akirile for joining us. I don't know if the network has allowed, the quality of the audio did not allow us to take your view on some of the things that we've spoken about. But thank you very much for joining us, John. So Chioma, you may get on with other things. Let's take a little break now. So Chioma can get on. And when we come back, Kayla will be talking about the latest in the world of entertainment. All right. Well, I don't think we should take a break really. We'll just excuse Chioma from the set. Kayla will let us into the world of entertainment. So, okay.
All right.
right, so yes, we're going into entertainment now, and Kayla has the juiciest gist. So, Kayla, what's the latest in the world of entertainment?
All right, we're going to start off with the latest, like you said,
Okay.
AMVCAs. All right, yes, that's the African Magic Viewers Choice Awards.
Okay.
Okay, so it's a 3-day event. So it started off yesterday.
Oh, great.
Yes, with the
Great.
cultural nights, and everybody came out in their best attires, cultural attires, and, looking good with the hosts, Etim F. Young and Nancy
Okay.
Sime. Okay, so everybody's looking nice. Everybody's looking nice, everybody's looking great, and they have so much outfits, going on there. So we're just going to talk about a couple of celebrities that graced the red carpets. We have Mercy Aigbe, we've got even Nancy Sime, the host herself, looking great with her Fulani outfits. We have Etim. We have the Big Brother Titans. This Big Brother set that just, left the Big Brother house. We have the Big Brother Titans housemates, ex-housemates, because you're no longer there. The ex-housemates came in looking great. And for the night, they had an award for the best dress. So best female dress and best male dress. And we had Venita Akpofure, the best female dress, and Yemi Craigs from the Big Brother Titans that had the Nigerians and South Africans.
Well, unfortunately, we don't have the pictures. It would have been nice to have the pictures come on screen, so we'll see their dresses. But yeah, so AMVCA.
And we're looking forward to the main awards. That will be coming up tomorrow. So we're going to see who are going to win certain categories. I can't wait to see the best actress in a movie.
So who are you looking at winning the
best actress? They have quite a lot of talented actresses on that category. And I can't even say for one. We've got Bimbo Ademoye. Yes, we have Funke Akindele. We have Tony Abraham.
So who are you rooting for?
Moses, why are you doing that?
Who are you rooting for? Funke, right?
No. Personally, I think all of them are great, but I don't know, it's hard for me to pick somebody.
Okay.
But from the little I mentioned, do you have somebody? Because for you to say Funke.
Well, in as much as you're staying safe,
okay,
I will stay safe as well. I'll just let it, I'll let the judges do their thing.
Yes.
And let people just enjoy. I think Funke has done great. It wouldn't be bad
if she takes it.
If she takes it.
Is literally spilling the tea.
It wouldn't be bad if she takes it, because she has done great for herself.
She has.
Yes. Do we have another entertainment story?
Oh yes, we have Davido and Chris Brown.
Tell me
okay,
about
so
that one.
Davido has been trending after his break, due to the unfortunate passing of his son.
His album afterwards.
Yes, last year.
Timeless album.
Great album. And one thing I would say about Davido's team is they decided to just bring him out, and he came out like a new flower. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like the Davido we didn't know before. Because he took some time off and came out with this
great album. He's a married
album.
man now, so things are different.
You think marriage has something to play with this?
Yes,
well, I must say, yes, I'm happy because he seems happy about the marriage. Every time he's taking in my wife, my choma, and he's really happy about that. Yes. Okay, so let's speak about this particular song that had social media just going on and on, doing their challenge unavailable. So it goes, I think something I'm unavailable. Something like that. So, everybody started taking up that song and doing their challenge in social media, and it went viral. Now, interesting thing, Davido decides to bring 2 great dancers to do the challenge. That's a Nigerian dancer, celebrity dancer too, Kokoli,
to do the challenge,
Kokoli, and Hollywood artist Chris Brown.
Okay.
Yeah, so he brought both of them together to do this wonderful challenge on that song, Unavailable, and it is going viral.
Wow.
Viral.
Wow.
Yes, so he brought 2 great artists. I must say, Davido, you did that one.
Okay, so what's going to happen now is, as we wrap up the show, let's do ours.
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready.
All right, so we're getting up now. Let's do the
unavailable challenge, right?
I'm a terrible dancer.
Oh, me too. So we are in this together, right?
So we just play the song in our head, yeah?
Okay, fine.
And then,
so I think it goes something like, I'm unavailable.
This? Yeah, this.
Yes.
And then go again.
Then you just go.
Okay, okay,
then-
so wait. I start like this, right?
Yes.
I'm unavailable. They know they see me.
You get it? You know? So
Okay.
basically, people are saying I'm unavailable if it's not money. So if it's money, call me. I'm available.
I'm available too. So let's do that again.
Yes, okay, so we're going me,
No.
then hey. Then they see me.
All right.
You get the
Well,
vibe.
that's the show for today. That's VOP
Yes.
this morning. Well, stick around. We have more entertainment stories coming on our entertainment bit. And VOP news update will come your way as well. Political voice will come your way. World news.
VOP business, we have
VOP
more.
business will come your way as well.
Some more interesting programming coming your way.
So much more to come your way today. My name is Moses Humphrey.
And I'm Kayla Abraham.
All right, so see you next time. Have yourselves a beautiful weekend.
All right, bye.